could woke up. So let's see what we up to. Let's see what we up to.
Pero yo bajé a pasear con la niña allá abajo, estaba vestida. No, pues, why you didn't call me?
Okay, so this is the part where my mom called me the day before and she had Elena outside, but she never gave me the call. She never gave me a call to let me know that she took E outside. And for me, I would have want that call, especially since she's taking her to housing, which I'll explain that situation later. So let's continue.
I told you I was with her downstairs.
No, you told me when you was outside with her already. Why you didn't call me and ask to take her?
Why? I gotta say something about the nena? No, I don't have to say nothing.
Why not? That's my daughter. You can just take her wherever you please. You gotta ask me.
Tú estás así encojonada, no sé por qué.
I'm not,
Otra
I'm
vez
just
tú me
upset.
dices a mí, okay, mommy, you could take the
Yeah, because you
ball
asked. You asked.
Sí, pero
Exactly,
¿tú
you
crees que
asked.
soy me extraña?
No.
So I know my mom's not a stranger. Yes, I know she's her. She's the grandma of the kids, obviously. But I am her mother. I'm supposed to know when you're taking her out, where are you gonna go? And she blames me being mad, and that's why I'm asking her all these questions. And I wasn't mad or anything. I was just upset about the situation and curious of why you took my daughter to housing with you. You know?
But you have to ask me. At the end of the day, that's still my kids.
¿They didn't tell you? ¿Yo? ¿Qué te molesta a ti?
Nothing. It's just you have to ask me. They're my kids.
Oh, entonces cuando salimos tú y yo, no tenemos que llevar a la niña porque hay que preguntarle a ella primero.
Pero I'm wrong.
Like, guys, seriously, am I wrong for wanting her to call me before you take one of my kids out? She has not taken out the twins at all. She took out E that last day. But as a parent, would you want your mom or your dad to call you? Hey, I'm gonna take one of my grandkids out, take them somewhere, you know? Am I wrong, guys?
No le preguntaste. Ayer. No, porque yo la bajé, ¿te acuerdas? Yo te dije, yo me llevo a la niña porque voy a housing un ratito. Pero ¿y qué? Yo voy a decirle a housing a toda la niña. Que pregunte abajo si yo dije algo de la niña.
I don't have to.
Pero cuando tiene coraje lo pone conmigo.
No, I'm not even mad. I'm just mad at the fact that you're lying to people that we're getting kicked out Wednesday. Knowing that I
didn't say
need the
Wednesday.
for the lady who's helping me.
I show you the thing. I didn't say Wednesday. They said by July. I mean June 30. June 30 is the last day.
That you gotta pay all that. I know that. You don't have to keep repeating it. I know, but why you keep lying? Why you keep switching words around? I'm sorry, Papito. Hold on, okay.
So, as you can hear in the video, her tone starts to change. I keep asking her about why she had to lie about Wednesday getting kicked out. One of my aunts literally called me and said, listen, you guys are getting kicked out Wednesday. Be prepared. Your mother said that. That's why I had to get to the bottom of it, because I needed that proof, especially from my caseworker, to verify that, you know, I wasn't going to have anywhere else to go. So this was going to be my only solution, and I would have got placement that day.
I'm speaking to you, but you always say, oh, que es por coraje, es por esto. And I'm not angry. I'm literally speaking to you.
What is this? June 30. Entonces acá dice
By June 30th,
executing.
Insurance of a warrant of eviction executed because it stayed and pursued until followed schedule. That doesn't mean you're getting evicted, Mom.
So, let me explain that part. It doesn't say she was getting evicted because till this day, the door is not locked. I still have a couple of things from the kids, like the swinger, a sitter, the bassinets, my portable fan, and a box. Yeah, a box full of the little muñeco stuff. I don't know how to say muñeco in English, but little toys basically of especially E's and Maddie's left in the apartment, and there's still not a note till this day of eviction on the door. So keep that in mind, guys.
And stop telling everyone else your problems. That's no one else's business. Only family. You literally told the whole world. Yeah.
So basically in this part, she tries to be a smart butt. She doesn't discuss with anyone. Not her sisters, not her brothers, not her nephew. She doesn't tell them the most important thing about what's really going on. Except this one friend named Marcel, who is a correction officer and who literally is always in the business of our family. And that's all she wants to speak to about everything. One thing is having a friend. Another thing is going back to back. But honestly, she tells a lot of things to Marcel instead of her own family. And this is why things are the way they are. Because instead of discussing it with family, I'm not saying with me, at least with her sisters, at least with the nephew, at least so they could get everything situated of why things the way they are, you know?
Ya hasta el trauma, esa lo tiene.
That's what we can say.
Mira, hasta Marcel dice.
I don't care about Marcel. That's between you and Marcel. I don't know why you tell Marcel everything.
¿Por qué? Porque él trabajó en corte. Él sabe el proceso que hay en corte.
He doesn't know how court runs now. He's a whatever correction officer. He shouldn't be involved in your stuff.
He's not involved. He just.
I don't believe you. It's something between you going on between you and Marcel.
What you mean, Mom? I said, I don't date him. I
never said. Look, those words never came out of my mouth.
I never said
Brought
that.
it up yourself.
He's a person who told me about what's going on.
But you try to speak to someone who's in there, not that you need an advice. You don't need an advice right now. You need to see what the hell is gonna happen with Grandma. That's what you need to see. Stop getting Marcel and friends involved.
Well,
And then you think that they're helping you. They're looking at you funny. They're probably curious how the hell this happened. You're acting like when that eviction happens and everything, and I leave with my kids and I'm in the shelter, what's gonna happen with everyone else? What's gonna happen with Grandma?
you're gonna be fine.
I'm not worried about myself. My kids are gonna be fine. That's what matters. I'm worried about Grandma. I'm worried about what's gonna happen.
So, yeah. In that part, I know I was going to be situated. I know my kids were going to be okay and situated. But mind you, I didn't know what was going to happen to my grandma. I didn't know whether she was going to be okay. Mind you guys, my grandma's 100 years old. 100 years old. And she doesn't know. She doesn't know till this day. She's losing a place where she has lived for 80 years, I believe. She's been living there a long time. I'm gonna say to when my mom was 5 years old, she's been living in that apartment for a very long time. Mind you, my grandma doesn't know what's really going on. We try not to tell her, but my mom slowly is trying to tell her. But knowing my grandma's gonna get sick. Let's keep going.
I'm gonna see the friends you're telling things to, if they're gonna help you out. Cause I don't know who's helping you.
Nobody's helping me.
Okay, so you shouldn't bring anyone else into business. Mom, you look like a joke telling people stuff.
Tú también le dices a la mujer de José, tú
I
le
told
dices
that.
también.
I told that.
Sí,
That's
pero
different.
ella también sabe.
That's not my
Y ella
problem.
mete su cuchara.
From there on,
Ella se mete la cuchara.
So, she was referring to my dad's girlfriend, aka my stepmom. She's good to me. She gives me advice. When I talk to my dad about these situations, she's there. She hears all these things. That's not my problem. She gives me advice. And she just hears me out the way I cry to my dad. Sometimes my dad, doesn't know what to tell me sometimes. So he kind of tells her, or I kind of speak up and I ask her for an advice, because at the end of the day, she's a woman. And at the end of the day, she understands more sometimes, No offense that. But yeah, let's keep it going.
Y yo no estoy reclamando y diciendo, oh, mira, porque ella dice esto y el otro. Porque tú también le pones a decir cosas a
I
ella.
told that.
Pero él es otro. Que él,
But why are we talking about them? I'm talking about grandma. Stop bringing other people involved.
Okay, I'm telling my friend this and that. She's nothing with me. It's with your father, not with me.
Okay, why are you still bringing that involved? I'm talking about what's gonna happen with grandma. You sound like.
I don't know what's gonna happen the day that I go to court. I know definitely I got to court. They say no, that I don't have a.
So, would I still hear about other family members? Well, my aunts. I'm just gonna say my aunts. I'm not gonna mention who. She's been having court, yeah. Has she been going to some of them? Not at all. And then the time she does have court, she goes very late, and then they reschedule. And what the court is what she's not understanding is that the court is not going to keep rescheduling. She needs to go to court. She needs to figure this out. Especially, it's my grandma's house. What's going to happen with her? Let me put him down.
Yes, I do. That's why when I come from Yonkers right now, I'm gonna go to court.
Si alguien te dice algo, why you gotta keep arguing with them back? Mami, tú te ves mal.
Yo no sé no.
Basically, obviously, I'm speaking Spanish. I was telling her how bad the situation is making her look. Like, the situation literally is catching up to you. So, yeah.
Mommy, that's racist. Stop.
So, this is the part where I don't want to say it, to be honest, because in this part, she's being kind of a racist. I feel like she is. But, let's continue.
That's really bad. Stop. Mom, that's still racist. Stop doing that.
Yo le digo a Marcel, oye, tú eres moreno, ¿sí o no?
Mom, okay, whatever. You joke around with your friends like that, that's different. But you don't say that. That's still racist. Rubio, moreno, don't say that.
Yo no estoy diciendo nada malo. Lo digo es él, como se llame. Él abusa de la gente de aquí. Tú no lo ves, tú no lo has visto. Mucha gente aquí tiene problemas con él.
Pero ese es problema de otra gente.
Okay.
Pero no.
Basically, when I said it's a problema de otra gente, when I said that, it means that's other people's problems. Just letting her know that. Just letting you guys know that, just in case whoever don't speak Spanish.
diga así, that's racist. You could get in trouble for that.
Y él también me ofendió a mí.
I don't know. That's between you and him. All I know is,
Ofendió a mí.
él me respetó, él me habló bien, él dijo que la situación que no me podía decir mucho porque tú eres la hija, no yo.
So basically, obviously I spoke in Spanish. I said, he spoke to me nice. He wasn't rude to me as she was saying that he's always rude and has an attitude. She doesn't like speaking to him, whatever. He spoke to me with respect and he let me know what's up. He let me know that he can't give me much information because, you know, my mother wasn't there.
But stop saying you're getting evicted Wednesday. The last payment has to be Wednesday. By the way, what's going on with grandma's money?
Yo sabía que estaba diciendo iba a salir por ahí.
So this is the part where she said in Spanish, see, I knew that topic was gonna pop out. The situation is popping out of my grandma's money situation because rent is not getting paid. And let me let you guys know this now. Rent hasn't been paid since the year of 2021 when she took out that car. She said it was during COVID, so that's 2020. But the guys who came on Wednesday, they usually help people with rent. The sad situation is that my mom preferred the car than my grandmother's house. And the sad part, she used my grandma's life insurance probably, I don't want to say that and not know if it's her life insurance, but all the money, that was my grandma. And I found out she was getting 2 checks. I thought it was just 1, but she got 2 checks. And instead of paying the rent, my mom was paying her car off, an $800 month car. The Kia was worth before $40,000. Your rent is $40,000, but you prefer the car instead of home. Instead of grandma's home, where she could lose everything and she could get sick. And she's in perfectly good condition ever since my aunt was taking care of her. Let's continue.
Dinero, ella no está en el banco.
Okay.
Tiene que pagar.
I want to see it. I want to see how much money she got for herself.
Está como Irma.
Basically, she's comparing me to another aunt that asked for the same thing.
Yo te pedí una cuenta.
Forget about me. I'm talking about grandma. Grandma's the most important thing in our lives right now. And we need to
Yo no importo nada. Tu abuela es que importa, como dice tu hermano. Tú no eres nada. Tú eres esto, así de fresco, como él habla. Y de aquí él no me va a llamar porque él dice que yo soy la madre. La madre y el papá es allá. Los demás que me son dicen porque él le dieron la mano y todo. Que cuando esta se escapaba, que esto y lo otro, que él veía por ella. ¿Y yo qué? ¿Por qué me metí en problemas con ella? Porque tuve que ir.
So this is the part which is really unnecessary, but it's there. This is the part where we're talking about my past. How I used to escape, how I used to disappear, who I used to hang out with, etc.
Buscarla ya donde estaba escondida. Y el tipo la obligó, le comió la mente y ella cayó. Oh, sí, está bien. Voy a ir a reportarla porque ella te pega, te golpea y todo.
Mami, eso no fue. We all know what happened. But I'm not going to say nothing and talk about that situation no more because I grew from that. I'm glad I went through that.
So basically, it was about the past. So basically, what I did when I used to run away and hang out with the wrong people. Obviously, I had my first boyfriend. Back and forth. No abuse or nothing. But I was getting abused a lot from my mom. And that person always found out. I got beat up in that person's house that him and his sister had to get my mom off me when she was literally beating me on the couch. But I had permission to go that day. But that's something I don't want to talk about. But I do remember that day. I literally opened the door because obviously it's my mother. I had so much respect for her at the time. I opened the door and she asks me what I'm doing here. I told her you gave me permission. I even had the messages on my phone. From there she started arguing with me. But then I said something. I don't know what I said. But it wasn't disrespectful or anything. My mother charged at me. Started swinging at me. And that's when I ran to the couch. Him and his sister, his older sister, had to get her off me. And told her what she was doing and why she was doing it. Like what was wrong with her. She left the house. I think I ended up staying in their house, not for a sleepover, but I ended up staying back. And we all just started talking about why my mom did that, why she's like that, and why would she give me permission and then take it all back. Mind you, I was only 15 years old, 16 years old. No, I would say 15 because around 16, that's when I went to foster care. Yeah, so let's continue.
Siempre, yo los maltrataba, yo los regañaba, me metía de zapatillada, así. Venía el hermano, a veces se forzaba con ella, la tiraba al piso y le pegaba.
So basically in this part, when she says he grabbed me and he throws me on the floor, she's talking about my brother now. This is my brother. Brothers and sisters fight. Sisters and sisters fight. Brothers and brothers fight. Me and my brother, yeah, we used to go ham fighting. It wasn't to the point that he was hitting me OD. So, let's continue.
Sí, pero me defendió, mami. That's how siblings are.
This is what I told her. That's how siblings are. And I defended myself either way. Whether me and my brother was throwing the hands or not.
Él te defiende así, diciéndole a todo el mundo, oh, you fucking bitch, this, that, y esto, y el fucking OS. ¿Ah? ¿Cuántas veces se metió problema con Lisandro?
So why do you keep bringing up the past?
Like I said, she keeps bringing up my first love. She keeps bringing him up. And she brings up the part that why my brother kept going back to the problem. But I know my mom was interfering with that. But she wanted to put everything on my brother. Gio, if you're watching this, I know you did the best for me before. And I know you love me. So I love you a lot. I don't regret anything in the past. I know we have our hella ups and downs. But I'm glad our relationship has gotten close. And yeah, let's continue.
Yo no estoy hablando de cosas así. I'm talking about grandma. You're bringing up
Pero
stuff
tú
from the
estás
past.
como tu tía Irma, que yo quiero con ella. Ahora yo te voy a dar la cuenta.
So basically, she's comparing me to the aunt she mentioned before, Tia Ima. That, you know, we just want to know if my grandma has money. We wanted to know if it was in her account.
Además, te voy a decir, para que tú veas lo que ella tiene en el banco. Todo lo que ha estado pagando, 1,000 y pico de veces, porque yo trato de pagar y no me alcanza.
Bullshit, guys. Bullshit. I swear to God.
Basically, yeah, I wasn't believing it. I had I had a feeling that my grandma didn't have money anymore. That everything was gone. Because in my head, it was always about the car. How she's paying the car. How she still has the car. And then finding out my grandma had 2 checks. If my grandma was receiving all this money, why isn't I going to the rent? Why isn't I getting paid? Why the rent only got paid twice? And why does it keep rising? Let's continue.
Que yo me como dinero, yo gasto dinero por todo.
Ay, papito. I just want to know how much she got for her. That you say you don't touch the money at all, right? So she should
Para
have.
pagar la renta, eso es lo que yo tomo.
So basically, she's saying en español, in Spanish, que ella estaba usando dinero para pagar la renta. She was using the money that my grandma received so she could pay the rent. I call it bullshit. Oh, I can't keep cursing on YouTube. Ugh. I call it lies. Because everybody knows the situation. Money wasn't going down. Money just kept rising. And throughout all of this happening, that's when suspicion started happening, you know?
Now you touch the money. Eso es para pagar la renta. Ahí están los recibos.
She said she had receipts. The only receipt she has was from February 27 of $1,000 and $1,111.
I see the receipts, and I want to see her account. And honestly, you should speak to the other tias and let them be in charge of the account. Because you're not trusted with the money. I swear you're not trusted. I don't even trust you.
So this is when my gut feeling started rising at that moment. I was telling her, my other aunts, Irma, Nancy, Amaryllis, one of those, Aura, they should start being on top of my grandma's money. Because with my mother, she couldn't be trusted. She said she was broke. She doesn't have nothing. But here she is, paying her car, buying clothes, getting new shoes, going to parties. Let's continue.
Ellos quieren que ella lo saque. Las demás quieren que yo saque el dinero y pague mi mamá la renta.
So basically in this part, she said in Spanish that all her sisters agreed for my mother to take out my grandma's money and to pay it with the rent. Mind you, the rent keeps going up. It's not getting paid. So does all the tias know what's really going on?
¿Y con qué ella se va a quedar?
So this is the part when she said, "Y con qué ella se va a quedar?" Meaning, so what is my grandma's gonna stay with? Basically, what money she's gonna stay with. Mind you, the rent is more important than what my grandma's gonna stay with. Because knowing I can get her food, my aunt is there. My aunt's been taking care of her since January, and my aunt cooks. My aunt gets food supplies, and she cooks. My mom doesn't. My mom barely wants to do anything. Keep this in mind. Everybody's curious about what's going on with the rent. I get suspicious of the money's going to the car.
¿Está?
What do you mean?
Ellos dicen que el protector ese que viene tiene que coger la cuenta de ella
Okay.
para pagar la renta.
Oh, that's good then.
Ok, pero ¿con qué le va a dejar? Si ella gana poco, ella le da poquito de la renta.
So basically in that part, my mom is discussing that the guy is gonna come Wednesday and see the account and make sure my grandma's account is linked to the rent. She said that was fine, but what was my grandma gonna stay with if my grandma makes so little? Mind you, that's not what I heard. I know she gets an $800 check, and then there's another check she gets. I'm not sure how much is it. I just found out about that not too long ago. So yeah.
El dinero de él es
You
necesario.
gotta understand, you're working. You need to learn how to save. And if they need her account, you know what that means? All that money she has, that's all going straight to the rent. And that's gonna bring it down. At least it's gonna bring it down. It's gonna show them that she's paying it. But it shouldn't be coming out of her pockets. That's not fair.
That's
Basically, you guys heard that, right? The money shouldn't be coming out of my grandma's pockets at all. It's not my grandma's fault that she owes so much in rent. It's my mother's fault. My mom has been in charge of the rent.
not fair. That's what I told them. That's not fair that you lower down the rent to $800. Como dice Irma, todavía es mucho, $800. She got to pay the 2 or 3. out myself from the house so they could lower down.
So in this part, she thinks taking her name off the lease is gonna bring my grandma's situation of the rent down. Mind you, maybe it could bring it down. I don't know how it goes. But keep in mind, she doesn't realize she still needs to pay that rent, whether the rent goes down or not. That money is still owed. You still need to pay. Keep going.
Because they count what the budget or the people who live
But
in
you
the
have
house.
to realize, if she's paying that, it's because that's when she's alone. But you leaving the lease and everything, you're just gonna bring problems to her.
Well, that's why I was trying
And
to
mom,
help
you
her
could
with the
literally
money.
get locked up for that, trying to put your stuff over there and trying to run away from the problems that you made.
Basically, my mom doesn't know that she could get locked up for that, for federal too. One, taking my grandma's money, which at the time I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, but I knew, God himself knew, that all of this was coming to the light. I had an uncle that already apologized to me, that he didn't believe me, and he apologized. But it doesn't help the fact that everybody was talking wrong about me, especially saying that I abused my grandma, when the one that's abusing my grandma is my own mom. My own mom is abusing her own mom, and she doesn't care.
And that's
El
what you don't
miércoles, tú le
understand.
dices todo eso el miércoles cuando la señora
I would
viene aquí.
gladly will, and I'm gonna gladly record it.
Report it. Look what they're gonna say. Entonces no vienen cosas por mí.
Okay.
De mí no es que yo le robo el dinero y todo. Ahí está la
Look, mami, esa es la
cuenta.
problema tuya. No one mentioned though.
See, at that moment, I didn't mention she was stealing money at all. But her continuously repeating it and getting upset about the situation, she makes herself look guilty. And like I said, I try to give her the benefit of the doubt. But when that Wednesday came, that Wednesday was a whole show. That Wednesday, my aunt cried. That Wednesday, I cried. It was really hard that day. And how much more information we found out. And mind you, I have never seen my aunt cry. Ever. Let's continue.
Words robar dinero never came out of my mouth.
Pero
You
eso es lo
make
que dije,
yourself
por eso
suspicious.
le dije a Irma, ¿tú crees que yo me le estoy robando el dinero a mi mamá?
See? Not only I thought that's suspicious about that, my other aunt did. And if my other aunt kept repeating it, she had that gut feeling too. Yeah.
And what was her response?
¿Ah?
And what was her response? ¿Qué ella dije?
Ella misma me dijo, vete y haz todo el cambio. Irma misma me dijo, vete a haz todo el cambio para que en caso le ayudes a mami. Pues, esta de aquí en el house y no quiere que yo trabaje yo le digo, yo trabajo 3 días.
So basically, she's blaming housing. Someone in there. That she couldn't work another job because of the rent is gonna go up. Okay, the rent is gonna go up, yeah. They see your payroll, they see everything. But mind you, if you was to make small payments of the rent, or anything in general, it could be a Con Edison bill, it could be a Cablevision, it could be the internet. Any small payments you make, but you're still struggling, they will help you if they see that you're making minimum payments, no matter what the situation is. But she's blaming other people that she couldn't work. And that's an excuse.
¿Qué? 300 y pico voy a gastar. ¿Ah? Yo tengo que
Okay, but-
jalar el dinero
Okay.
poco a poco para yo
I'm gonna be honest
y
with
eso.
you. You got a notification on your phone that said you received your taxes of $3,000.
Okay, so this is a moment that I regret, and I wish I never ripped the receipt, because I found a receipt with my mother's name on it. And that receipt said $2,444 that she had in her account. what made me confused is that everybody knows when you take out something or when you spend on something, for example. Yes, I'm gonna say spend on something. Your name pops out on a receipt. Her receipt was Chase. Her leftover balance was $2,444. That's what I saw. I found the receipt on the floor in the hallway as I got home. My mom must have just dropped it on the floor because she called me and said she just got home. I picked it up and I opened it. I kept it for 2 days. Then I showed my Aunt Nancy. Obviously, that's the aunt that's taking care of my grandma. I showed her so that way I had a witness. But as soon as I showed her, she gave it back to me. She kept in mind and she was really shocked. Also, she also received a notification before I found the receipt that her tax refund was $3,000. Her friend Marcel did that. I wish I had on video. When she called him, she felt dumb. And she was telling Marcel, oh, but you never told me this. But then she walked away and talked quietly into another room. But I had the receipt. And my mistake was ripping it in pieces and throwing it out. But I showed my aunt. And I'm glad I did because I have a witness at that moment. Even though I wish I never threw it out, and I should have took a picture of it like I have been doing with the other receipts. But I didn't. So there's nothing I can really prove. But I know what I saw.
I ain't seen no $3,000.
Mom, you dropped your Chase paper. You dropped it on the floor in the hallway. I picked it up and it said you had $2,444 left in your account.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
You want to know how I'm not lying? Tía, yo te
Porque a
enseño el
mí
papel, ¿verdad?
los taxes me lo hizo fue Marcel.
This is the part where I asked my aunt, like, oh, you think I'm lying? Tia. And that's when my aunt looked at me. I didn't mean to get her involved, but that was my only witness.
Yo te enseño el papel, ¿verdad?
¿Qué papel? ¿Y dónde está? Entonces tú me coges las cartas.
No, it wasn't even a mail. You dropped the receipt in the hallway. I ended up picking it up, and when I opened it, I saw your name, and it says the money of $2,444.
So where's your receipt then?
I ripped it up.
Ella coge y después si le cojo las cosas, ella dice algo. Yo no he recibido los $3,000.
Mom, you're gonna lie to my face when I offer
I got
salt.
papers there that the IRS te dice que no.
Mom, you're lying to me. I saw even the notification on your phone.
Porque tú andas en mi notificación.
It popped out.
Entonces no. Tú andas chequeando mi emails y todo eso para estar
I'm not
averiguando.
checking your email.
I didn't check her emails. I didn't check her account. Obviously, it's Face ID. But I was washing dishes, and her notification wasn't private. She always left her phone open. I'm not sure why her phone never locks. But I was washing dishes. After I finished, her phone was on top of the washing machine. I saw a notification pop out. I just glanced, because I heard a noise. I looked. And that's what I saw. A tax refund of $3,000 hitting her account. Just continue.
I found a Chase.
This is where my aunt not agreed, but this is where my aunt said yes, that she saw it also. And my mom said in Spanish, ¿por qué no me dijiste? Meaning, why you didn't tell me?
I found a Chase receipt, and it said $2,444. Your phone said you received your income tax of $3,000. You don't have to lie to me. I seen it.
Pues vamos al banco ahorita.
Open your check.
So this is the part where she argues with me of, let's go to the bank and see if it's true. Mind you, every transaction, and basically now everybody has a bank downloaded on their phone. You can see it through the phone. And then she makes a joke out of it and she says, oh, how come she don't want to go to the bank? Making it seem like I don't want to prove myself right because I don't want to go to the bank. But I know what I saw and my aunt saw it too.
No, ve al banco conmigo y pregunta si yo recibí 3,000 y pico.
Mom, open your Chase account.
¿Por qué no quiere ir al banco? Dime.
Mom, open your
¿Por qué no
Chase
quiere ir al
account.
banco?
Because the bank is already on your phone.
Esto es lo que yo tengo. ¿Ah?
So, this is the part that she's showing me her bank account. What I find while I'm looking through that phone, my grandma has $76 to her name. I didn't want to believe it at first because she said she opened an account for my grandma, starting with $100. Mind you, you can't do that. You can. Until that Wednesday came, and it hit her so bad. Of my grandma's account end up having nothing, and the other thing only $76 to her name.
El IRS me devolvió fue 600 algo. ¿Y en qué lo ocupé? Para el pago del carro. Pero ahí no dice que yo gané 3,000 y pico.
See how she said that she used that money to pay her car. Mind you, she could have put it towards the rent.
Hay nada dice que yo gané 3,000 y pico.
Son las imágenes de estos manifestantes enfrentándose a la policía. Esto que se queda.
Yo voy a pagar mi notification. Cada vez que salgo lo voy a pagar. Porque me están oliendo hasta los pelos donde voy. Así como tú le haces a tu hermano. Te la ando chequeando desde a mí no me tiene que chequear donde yo voy, donde salgo. Hay una gente que te está poniendo a ti así para que averígüele a tu mamá. Déjale esto.
He's not telling me nothing because he's not getting involved. That's not his problem.
Pero tú lo habrás llevado a housing.
Why would I take him to housing?
Mientras también sabemos que en Tucson, Arizona, decenas se manifestaron frente a un edificio de ICE y allí también vimos acusación, también hay unos actos de violencia donde aparentemente se reunieron.
Ahorita porque Marcel está en una grabación de su hija. Lo voy a llamar. Le voy a decir, lo voy a poner en pique.
Mind you see how she keeps mentioning Marcel? Marcel this, Marcel that. Marcel did this, Marcel did that. Marcel talks to me about this. She only talks about Marcel throughout this whole problem situation. I understand when you need a friend and you tell them something, but one thing is telling them how you feel, what's going on, and saying it's just a situation. Another thing is saying everything on the book, knowing you have brothers and sisters that at the time probably was willing to help, but you never said anything. You stood shut and you let that rent go up.
Dime si tú me cogiste, porque él no cogió nada. ¿De dónde salió? Dime que el hombre que tú me dijiste a mí que podía, si yo gané 3,000 y pico. Donde dice que he ganado $3,000 y todavía bota el recibo en vez de dármelo a mí. En vez de dármelo a mí para.
She said instead of ripping up the receipt, I should have just gave it to her. Yeah, I agree with that part. Should have gave it to her, cause it'll question her more. But since I don't have the proof and I did rip it up and I didn't take the picture, only me and my aunt saw it. There's nothing else more I can prove about that. But I know what I saw.
Yo saber, para yo ir al banco, le digo, ¿dónde está esto? ¿Ah? Y en el recibo nunca sale el nombre mío.
It did. Elvia J. Salazar.
Entonces no fue el recibo del banco.
Mom, it said Chase on it. Tía, ¿verdad que dijo Chase? I showed Nancy.
¿Y por qué tú no me enseñas a mí?
Because
Si llega algo a ti, yo le abro y le digo, Nancy, mira lo que está de esa banda. ¿Te va a gustar o no te va a gustar?
I'm not hiding nothing, so
So I'm not hiding nothing either.
I know what I saw.
Pero yo estuviste mal. Porque en ningún recibo sale en papel blanco que llega a las cartas y en el buzón es la que sale ahí.
I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry.
So basically, when you guys hear the part, it's only on the blank white paper of when you receive the mail, it says it. That shook her up a little bit. So she thinks I opened a mail that came. And the way she said it, she knows she got it. But she thinks I saw it from there. I didn't see it from there. She dropped the receipt in the hallway. I saw her name and I saw the balance. So yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Pero ahí, ¿qué va a decir ahí? Que diga 3,000 y pico. Yo no he cogido 3,000 y pico. Yo no voy a estar mintiendo.
De República Dominicana por todas nuestras plataformas.
En verdad, dijo el nombre de ella y todo. I was like, Tia, look, I found this on the hallway floor. Mira que mami dice, and you said you only received 200. And why does grandma's...
If you rewind to the video, it should be a part where my mom said she only gana 600, meaning 600. Now she's saying on this part that she only got 200. You see how sometimes, most of the time, her story doesn't add up to what she's saying because she knows she's guilty.
I'll say $76.
So the $76 part. That's when I saw my grandma's account linked into her Chase, and it only says $76 to her name. I was really upset about that because my grandma should have had more. My grandma shouldn't even be touching that money.
Porque yo le abrí una cuenta a ella aparte y el banco cogió. Yo le puse $100.
So in Spanish, she said she opened the account with her account of $100 basically, and that Chase ended up taking money. I don't believe it.
Para abrirlo. Mami got 2 accounts.
She said my grandma has 2 accounts. That I believe. Where the money is, I don't know.
Uno está con Aura. Sí, Aura lo tiene. Todavía está con la firma de mami. Sí, ahora lo tiene porque Eliana ve la cuenta. Eliana ve la cuenta. Está activa la cuenta donde le depositan el dinero de mami, el cheque de eso. Está activo con la cuenta de Aura.
Completamente pacífica.
Okay, so that's the end of the recording I did on my phone of my mother and the situation. So in that last part, she blames my other aunt, Aura, who is in Ecuador in the moment as we speak, and she doesn't come back till September. She blames her because she says that she has my mother's account. Then she said, yes, she has her account and her daughter opens it for her, which I don't believe, because in the background, I don't know if you can hear my other aunt, Nancy, she's literally saying, no, you can't be saying that because she says she doesn't have the account. That is all a lie. And my mom only kept saying, yes, yes she does, yes she does, with an attitude. My mom knows she's guilty. And I just want my family to know, my mom doesn't care about my grandma. She needs help, and no one's seen that. The day that Wednesday came, and those guys and a guy and a lady came, my grandma didn't know what was going on. Obviously, she's not supposed to know, and she's not going to know. But I feel like she's getting sick. because my mom is slowly starting to open her mouth. My aunt called me today and let me know that my mother told my grandma that the house is empty. Samantha took everything and left. Mind you, I didn't want my grandma to know I left because I didn't want her to get sick. And it broke my heart in pieces because I can't even call my grandma on the weekends because she's in Queens in an aunt's house and my mother's nephew's house that I don't even want to call when she's over there. And plus she's with my mom over there. But as soon as she gets to here, I can call because my Aunt Nancy takes care of her Monday to Friday. I know I can call with confidence and I know I can speak to my grandma anytime through Monday to Friday. I wouldn't dare to call her on the weekends because she's all the way in Queens. But it counts that I call Monday to Friday and try to ask for her. I'm glad I made the recording. There's so much recordings I have, but I'm just putting this one out there for now. This is everything of what's been going on and why I left and the whole situation with family. Especially the situations about my mom. I know this YouTube video is so long and a lot of people won't watch it and understand why. They'll probably skip through it or not watch it at all, which I'm fine with. But I want people to realize, and especially my mom, since I know you're watching this, Mom, you need to pay that debt and you need to stop lying and get help. You're not right. And please, if one of my aunts, well, she needs to hear this, and I'm gonna say in Spanish and English, por favor cambie el nombre y saca a mi mamá de estar encima del dinero de mi abuela. Please take off my mom off the paperwork of what my grandma received and put you guys, one of you guys in charge. My mom can be trusted. Till this day, my mom still has the car. I worry of how she's paying the payment. And I feel like she wanted this to happen because right now, she's in my Aunt Aura's house, the one that's in Ecuador, until September. I don't know what's her deal. She hasn't been packing. And plus, she has a dog over there named Candy. You guys know how Candy is. I used to record her all the time. She's in the apartment alone by herself. I worry about that dog, especially today, since it was the 4th of July and that dog is scared of fireworks and thunder, anything that she hears sound. I'm worried about her. I don't know what's going on, but that's all I have for today. Thanks for tuning in my YouTube channel. A lot of people might look at me wrong for recording this and saying, hey, you're exposing everything out there. It's not that, and it's not for content either. I just want people and certain family that does watches my channel but claims that I gotta stop mentioning this. I'm not gonna stop because the truth needs to get out there. And the situation I am now, I would have never been in. And all I'm worried about is what's gonna happen to my grandma's apartment and what's gonna happen to my grandma. But thank you guys for tuning in. That's the audio video recording I did. And like I said, Mom, if you're watching this, sorry but not sorry. I cared a lot about you, but the things you've done to me and the ACS case you have opened for me, I would never forgive you. Even though God says to love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who persecute you. God will be your protector and defender. and God will fight for your justice. Thanks guys for tuning into my YouTube channel. Thanks you for the support. Thanks for the ones who've been supporting me since day one. I love you guys so much, and I'm gonna take my butt to bed because it's 3:49 in the morning, and I just wanted to make this video not in front of my daughters, especially Madeline, so she understands more. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay guys, so this part will be part 2 of the situation of the drama and stuff. So thank you guys for watching. I'm not gonna make this video long because part 2 is really long. So thank you guys for tuning in. I love you guys. I love you for being my supporters, even the ones from day one. I appreciate you guys every day. And yeah, so see you next time.